Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and non-binary folks, to the library car yet again. Still dealing with that light problem. So, today, it's another day of new deliveries. Or just a book haul. I've actually gotten quite a few books since last we met here in the library car. One of this isn't included in the main book haul I want to talk about today, but one of the books I got recently, I picked it up at like a restaurant. You know how they have like you leave one book, you take one, or something of that sort. Well, I picked this up. It was Demeter by William Peter Blatty, who, as you can see at the bottom there, the author of The Exorcist, a book which I have not read and a movie I have not seen. But this looked kind of cool because this is very different from everything else that William Peter Blatty's written, because it's not really horror. It's more like a horror thriller mystery kind of book. But yeah, it looked kind of cool. But now on to the main event. So I went down to my good old local Second in Charles, and I picked up a few new books. So let us go. First off, it's Stephen King's The Dark Tower, Book 1, The Gunslinger. Now here's something worthy to note. I have The Gunslinger already, but this one is different. Unlike the version I have, which is the revised and updated version, this is the original version. This is the version that was first put out before it was revised and whatnot. So this is the original Gunslinger, as it was originally written and published by Stephen King when he was about like 19, 20 years old. So, yeah, this was a cool find. This is a cool little bit here. Sorry, my ear was bothering me. Next up, I got the third book of this recently, and it was where was I going with that? Oh yeah, and I thought to myself, it's actually right here. This one, 2061 Odyssey 3. So I was like, if I have the third one, and I've seen the first 2001 A Space Odyssey is one of my favorite movies. Apparently we have the book running around somewhere here too. I hope to read that too. But I was like, so we have the third one, and we technically have the first one. So let me get the second one. So this is 2010 Odyssey 2, by Arthur C. Clarke. And I'm gonna read the backs of these also from the last one. I am gonna start reading the backs of these. When 2001: A Space Odyssey first shocked, amazed, and delighted millions in the late 1960s, the novel was quickly recognized as a classic. Since then, its fame has grown steadily among the multitudes who have read the novel or seen the film based on it. I've seen the film, and I love the film. Yet, along with almost universal acclaim, a host of questions has grown more insistent through the years. Who or what, by the way, these are spoilers for 2001: A Space Odyssey. Who or what transformed Dave Bowman into the Star Child? What purpose lay behind the transformation? What would become of the Star Child? What alien purpose lay behind the monoliths on the moon and out in space? What could drive Hal, a stable, intelligent computer, to kill the crew? Was Hal really insane? What happened to Hal in the spaceship Discovery after Dave Bowman disappeared? Would there be a sequel? Now all those questions and many more have been answered. In this stunning sequel to his international bestseller, Clarke has written what will truly be one of the great books of the 80s. Cosmic in sweep, eloquent in its depiction of man's place in the universe, and filled with the romance of space, this novel is a monumental achievement. So yeah, I remember they made a movie out of 2010. It wasn't by Stanley Kubrick, it was by someone else. But I heard it was actually quite good too. But yes, this is 2010 Odyssey 2. Next up, we go to the world of Clive Cussler. I actually have two other books by Clive Cussler just off over here. I can't really see them. I think it was like the Mediterranean Caper and Iceberg. I think it was. Iceberg. Now we have the third, technically fourth. I looked into that. But the third book that I've got from Clive Cussler, and probably I think his most famous work, or one of them, Raise the Titanic, by Clive Cussler. So I haven't. This is actually the book that my dad said to me. Like we were actually when we found Mediterranean Caper and Iceberg, that this was the one that he'd read, and he really liked it. It was made during a time before we found out that the Titanic was at the bottom of the ocean. It was actually in two pieces as opposed to one. But this one's pretty cool. There's a Clive Cussler himself back there. So yeah, this is I'm really cool. I'm really glad to have Raise the Titanic in my library, in my big stack of books that I need to read. And I promise I will do a book review on this channel at some stage. I promise you. But next up we're still in the realm of science fiction. With Michael Crichton. I actually have a few other books by Crichton. I have Jurassic Park, Congo, State of Fear, which I'm kind of worrisome about State of Fear, but Timeline too. But now I can add this book to the collection, Prey by Michael Crichton. I just realized I didn't read the Clive Cussler one, but I think because it's not on the back, it's complicated. Anyway, in the Nevada desert, an experiment has gone horribly wrong. A cloud of nanoparticles, micro-robots, has escaped from the laboratory. This cloud is self-sustaining and self-reproducing. It is intelligent and learns from experience. For all practical purposes, it is alive. It has been programmed as a predator. It is evolving swiftly, becoming more deadly with each passing hour. Every attempt to destroy it has failed, and we are the prey. So, yeah, this one looked really cool because it was about nanotechnology. This one apparently is also one of Michael Crichton's more technical books. So I do look forward to checking this out at some point. Looks cool. The next two, I don't think I can actually show on screen. Because I could probably censor it actually. Hold on, let me try to censor it. The first one, they're both by the same author, but the first one is Quarry by Max Allan Collins. This is the first book in the Quarry series. The assignment was simple. Stake out the man's home and kill him. Easy work for a professional like Quarry. But when things go horribly wrong, Quarry finds himself with a new mission: learn who hired him and make the bastard pay. So yeah, this is part of the hard case crime imprint. I actually have another book in the same imprint. It's actually a Stephen King book. It's Joyland by Stephen King. It's part of the same imprint there. Which I will get to. Again, I promise I'll read. I'll put this back later, but I promise I'll read. I'll do a review series at some point. The other one is also by Max Allan Collins, and it's Seduction of the Innocent. Again, I have to censor it. I feel the need to censor it because they're quite saucy, these covers. So it says, comic books are corrupting America's youth, or so the esteemed Dr. Werner Frederick would have people believe. People like the congressman holding hearings on banning violent crime and horror funny books. And when the crusade provokes a most unfunny murder, Jack Starr, comic syndicate troubleshooter, has no shortage of suspects. Was it the knife-wielding juvenile delinquent or the naked seductress? Perhaps a frustrated publisher or an outraged cartoonist? Or was it a comic book reader? Dun, dun. So yeah, this one I actually I have a list on Google Docs of hard case crime books to look into, but I really wanted to pick up this one because as you can tell from the opening, this is a giant takedown of that stupid shit in the 1950, pardon my language, of the stupid thing in the 1950s where they were like, oh, horror and crime comics, they're corrupting our youth. We need to ban books like Tales from the Crypt. It seems like a total takedown of that, which I totally approve of. But yeah, I'm glad to delve further into the hard case crime book imprint as well as Joyland. Let me actually put Joyland back real quick. Okay. There's two more books. I should mention, of the books that I have gotten so far and the ones I've shown so far, all the other ones and the last one are actually used books. This is the only new book, like newly shipped book, I think. It is a dystopian novel. It is it's up there with 1984, which I can actually see out of the corner of my eye if I look this way. Brave New World by Aldous Huxley. Aldous Huxley's tour de force. Brave New World is a darkly satiric vision of a utopian future where humans are genetically bred and pharmaceutically I can't pronounce that word, to passively serve a ruling order. A powerful work of speculative fiction that has enthralled and terrified readers for generations, it remains remarkably relevant to this day as both a warning to be heeded as we move into tomorrow and as thought-provoking, satisfying entertainment. So again, this is up there with 1984. It's same kind of like dystopian sort of thing, but this one's a more like sort of like utopian, or sorry, like as it says on the back, a utopian future. So yeah, I'm really happy to pick this one up because I've actually Brave New World is one of those books that I've really been wanting to read for a while. So that's the only new book I picked up from Second and Charles. This last one is from an author you may recognize from the last author book haul. Remember the last one where I sort of showed red Mars? I've since picked up green Mars. I'm still looking for blue Mars. Yeah, the author of the Mars trilogy, Kim Stanley Robinson. Well, I've picked up another book by Kim Stanley Robinson. It's separate from the Mars trilogy. New York 2140. This is a big book. This is a thick book. And this one's cool because I really like the premise of it on the back. This and what's the other one? Ministry, was it? I think it was Ministry for the Future. It was either Ministry of the Future or Ministry for the Future. It was one of those two. But this one, it says, as the sea level rose, every street became a canal, every skyscraper an island. For the residents of one apartment building in Madison Square, however, New York in the year 2140 is far from a drowned city. New York Times bestselling author Kim Stanley Robinson returns with a bold and brilliant vision of New York City in the next century. New York 2140 is an extraordinary novel from a writer uniquely qualified to tell the story of its future. So yeah, I'm really excited to pick this one up, as well as the other ones with the Mars trilogy. So yeah, so we have and it's also from Orbit, which I actually have quite a few Orbit books actually sort of placed around here. So yes, we have, to go over it, we have 2140 by Kim Stanley Robinson. Brave New World by Aldous. If you hear any sound out there, I apologize. Brave New World by Aldous Huxley. Seduction of the Innocent, and the first Quarry by Max Allan Collins. Prey by Michael Crichton. Raise the Titanic by Clive Cussler. 2010 Odyssey 2 by Arthur C. Clarke. And the original Dark Tower Book 1, The Gunslinger by Stephen King. So this is our new book haul. All of these new ones are now going to be put on my shelves. So until then, folks, this has been the Library Car, and I will see y'all next time. See you next time here at the Library Car.